Welcome back to Pretentious Douchebag Movie Talk, Black History Month edition, aka White Guilt edition.
Hey, people, he ain't tell me he was going to say that.
And just to start,
I hate popular shit. That's a remake. It's not a prequel.
oh my, how is it not a prequel? You're in the airplane. That's an action movie.
There gotta be some hand-to-hand combat at some point.
That's what love and romantic movies are about. It would be probably in my top 5. Maybe. It's a pretty good list. If anyone's confused, shit out of luck.
Sorry, my Prada's at the cleaners, along with my hoodie and my you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag.
And we got a doozy for you tonight.
Yo, we did not discuss this being a Black History Month edition.
Why else do you
This
think
is
I watched this
crazy.
movie? Why else do you think I watched it?
We went from law-abiding citizen to this. Oh, man.
So I watch another one of Boso's movies that he's been wanting me to watch for a couple of years now. Rosewood.
Yes, sir. And a guy that I say is a better actor than Denzel.
Not the lead actor in this movie, but we'll get to him. I know what you're talking about.
He is the lead actor, ain't he? Yeah.
No, he's not even on the poster. What he's talking about.
My man on one today.
All right, so anyone that hasn't seen it, Rosewood, directed by John Singleton, starring Ving Rhames, Jon Voight, and then Don Cheadle, your boy.
You know you hating.
I'm just going by the poster. It is a story about 1920s Florida. About
Oh, that was Florida?
yeah,
I
it
did
was
not
Florida.
know.
Yep. So it was.
Oh,
it was
so now it's less realistic because we're the Mexicans.
what? 1920s. They hadn't
Okay.
crossed our border yet. I don't know if you mean Cubans. They didn't do that either. All right, off topic. Where were we? So that Rosewood was a pretty promising black town, and they were thriving, doing pretty well, especially for that time. One incident changed everything. Good Lord.
A good white lie,
Oh my God.
but it wasn't a white lie. You get it?
All right. So a couple things I wrote down. I guess I can talk about whether it was a good movie or not.
Mm.
This was a very good movie. Very good movie.
Tread lightly.
And it's not trying to, no. I ain't just saying that. It was a very good movie. I watched it all in one sitting, so that should tell you. I stayed up late to watch it.
You watched the whole movie?
I watched the whole movie in one sitting.
You wanted to see if they're gonna hang that black man. JP is crazy. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna stick this out to the end. They gonna get his ass."
I'm never going to be able to get through this one. Let's start with the good. Let's start with the
Go
good.
ahead. Do your thing.
Ving Rhames is a badass, despite being a very limited actor. I love him in Pulp Fiction, and it's hard to see him in anything else because I realize, like, man, he's not in a lot of movies that I've seen. I don't even know if he's in a lot of movies.
He got about like 7 to 10.
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's
I'm
not,
not
it's
sure.
not, it's not a
But he
lot.
got like a lot of like a low budget movies too. Like
I just think he's kind of plays the same character.
yes,
But-
he does. Slow as hell.
He brings a menacing presence to this movie, so it worked as his role. Just going through, a couple scenes. So he shows up, and he's really kind of looking. He's just going town to town. He's a wanderer. He was in the war. He's a veteran, but he finds this place. He kind of welcomed in by a family on one night, and he sees this land that he's like, yeah, maybe I can buy that, settle down. But the only reason he wants to settle down is because the family basically offers up their daughter's services the first night. What are we doing here? What are we doing? First of all, I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old he is. I know black don't crack, but he looked way older than her. And it
You
just,
know whose sister that is?
all right, I talked about the white guy because you got to have a white guy in a black movie. Jon Voight, who plays kind of like the white hero of the movie. He tries to when the lynch mob starts happening, he tries to save and successfully does save a bunch of people. Hides them in their house, kind of stops him from hanging one guy early on in the process. He's kind of like the voice of reason. He's not totally, I wouldn't say he's pro. I wouldn't say he's anti-black or pro-black. He's just kind of like, hey man, like let's just chill. Like he's got a good life where he is. He doesn't want everything upended.
It's you do it, but just don't do it around me.
Yeah, I mean, well, in his mind though, he's a businessman. He's like, these are my customers, so like, stop messing with my business. So it's some selfish reasons, but I don't know if people know a lot about Jon Voight. Again, he was the coach in Varsity Blues and plays a pretty racist coach in that one. And then if you look at other roles in his real life, he is pretty openly racist. So when I saw that he was in this movie, I'm like, well, that makes sense because he gets to play himself. But as I'm watching that movie, I'm like, oh man, he's playing the good white guy. He should win an Academy Award for this. This is great acting. This is great acting. I kept waiting for his full-on racist to come out. No, he kept it inside. That's good acting. Shout out Jon Voight.
You know what's crazy to me? I didn't look at him as a good white when I watched that movie ever in my life. No matter how many times I watched that movie, I don't look at him as a good white. Because the way he talks to them, the way he's not fully on their side.
Totally. That's
You're
what
not
I'm
a
saying.
good white then. You're not good. Like because if they because a lot of the stuff like he could really stop. He could have really stopped some stuff.
He looked good in comparison to others.
So what else was going on?
Yes. And speaking of others, I have a connection with the other movie we did last time, Law Abiding Citizen. You can talk about the ultimate racist white guy. It's the one that has the son in the movie, and he's trying to teach him all about his racist ways.
Yeah.
That guy, do you know who he is in Law Abiding Citizen?
He's the fat lawyer.
He's Jamie Foxx's yeah.
The fat guy.
Yep, is Bruce McGill.
Oh, I got you.
Got him. I was like, I think you get that one. That's pretty good.
I didn't know his name.
Guy that tried to be good, but man, he was very torn. Was the sheriff? He actually thought was one of the most fascinating characters because he really was trying to stop that early on. He's like, no, I'm the law. Like he really wanted to be in charge of everything. He's like, no,
there was nothing he could do.
Right, and that's why I sympathize with him a little bit because like he really is like, no, we're not doing this. Stop. Like especially the first guy that they found, they're like, they want to hang him right there. He's like, no, this isn't happening. That's when Jon Voight comes in and also tries to settle it down. But the sheriff, like, he really just wanted to be right about the law, but you could tell there's still some racist tendencies in there. But he respected.
Come outside, boy.
Yeah. So when we got to that, I mean, because now we're just assuming, right? But that sheriff, do you know who he is?
Bro, I was about to say,
he's a prominent.
He played in Mad Junk.
He's prominent in two big Marvel movies. I shouldn't say prominent. I should say side character, but he's the #1 side character in movies you like. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Don't know.
He's Yondu.
That is no, is he?
Mm-hmm.
That's Yondu. I thought Yondu was the dude from. I'm dead serious right now. I thought Yondu was the dude from Zombieland.
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah. I'm dead serious. I'm not lying. I'm dead serious. I thought that was him.
White man can't jump.
Yeah, I know that, but damn,
White man
sound like Woody Harrelson.
White man can't whistle.
Now I will see it now. The yeah, boy, like that little call. Yeah, man.
All right, let's talk about your Don Cheadle.
Best actor. Not best actor. He's just better than Denzel. Don Cheadle, that dude, bro. Don Cheadle ain't lit in that movie.
He's really good in that movie. He's really good. And I wish he was in it more. Like I get
Thank you.
I get why like it's a cool ending where he like you think like I knew he wasn't dead. I know that what they tried to make it look like oh, he clearly died in the house fire. Like I knew he was still alive, and it's just one of those. I'd rather him be in this movie than I know he's eventually going to show up at the very end. Cool moment, but it didn't surprise me. But I'm like,
when he
no,
hit under his mom body.
So I didn't. That I didn't know, but I knew they just showed the legs of somebody on the stairs, and they're like, oh, that was him, but I knew it was the boy. And
yeah,
so I knew he was alive somewhere, but that was an interesting way of because they even opened it up and like, oh, there's the mom, and then closed it like, oh, he's in there the whole time.
She is a heavy mother, bruh. You got it, but that's what he said.
Okay, where do I start with the N-word? I admit I Googled this. What movie has the most N-words spoken by white people?
Did you say N-word or you type it in I-G-G-E-R?
I definitely said N-word, capital N.
Because if you type it, you say it. But anyway.
And unfortunately, that Google search did not give me my answers, but I am convinced. I've watched a lot of Civil War movies, a lot of slave type movies. I don't think there's ever been a movie that says the N-word more. They are so openly brash about it. It is crazy.
Because the movie you talk about slavery and Civil War, it's not like they didn't start using that until we got freed.
It's true. I mean, this is 1920s. Like, our grandparents were...
Not my grandparents. I don't know.
They were definitely born then.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so when you see the kids there, it's like that's our grandparents' age. That's crazy.
Yeah, 1920 don't even seem that seemed so far away until you just said that. Yep. Jesus, damn. But yeah, you talk about Don Cheadle should have been in the movie more than Vin Rames.
Yeah, because he is the better actor. I read up a little bit on like the real history of it. That the Don Cheadle character, the Vin Rames character, is not real. That was pretty much made up. There was one story of him that's never been confirmed. So they kind of made him up. But the Don Cheadle character is real. But his true story is that during that firefight in the house, he actually was killed. They said he died in a blaze of glory. Like that's kind of how it happened. So I get Hollywood doing their thing.
Make it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's just, man, that was, like I said, I've watched some pretty tough scenes in movies regarding this stuff, but to watch the uncomfortability of just watching a lynch mob take over a town, it was terrifying. It was filmed so well, and it really puts you right in there. Like, there's nothing they can stop them. When you got 40, 50 people openly just wanting to kill anybody with the skin color,
anybody they see,
it's just terrifying.
Then they hide in this one house. In this one house, all from a lie.
So, right, man, and that's so. I didn't read up if that was the true cause of it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Like his Emmett Till.
Yeah, man.
All
I mean,
from a lie.
All it takes is one Terminator from Terminator 2 to come in and rape somebody, and
you see in the beginning of the movie, you see like the dude putting his boots on, walking out the house, the white dude. So that's like that sets it off right there at the beginning of the movie. And the crazy part is the worst part of the movie, like the saddest part. The part is when the grandmother dies. When she said, "You know, it was a white man." Oh.
Well, okay, so this is my issue here with it being sad, because she knew it was a white guy, but she didn't say anything when the cop came around.
You can't.
I know. So that's I'm not saying I'm blaming her, because I get where we are and she's just protecting herself and her family. But she also did not speak up.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't. And now they're at your house and you have to.
I'm just
They
saying it
probably would
ended
have
up.
killed her. Like they would have said, "Oh, the man who wife that like the husband of the wife that was cheating around on him, he would have killed her for saying that was a white man."
But what's funny is even the sheriff hints at it a couple times where to the mob, and they're like, "Yo, we're talking about this girl. Like we know she gets around. We know what she does." So
Mm-hmm.
they're already
He got
hinting
mad
at it.
that one time. He got mad
Mhm.
at him that one time.
Yep. Like he hints at it. So it's kind of out there in the open that yeah, this definitely could have just easily been a white guy because the whole basis of this movie is that somebody escaped a chain gang and they were trying to find him, and that's they start assuming it was that person that
Or Ben
raped her.
Rain.
No, that it was even
No,
well, right, but
Jesse.
it's a coincidence that he shows up, but there really was somebody who broke out of a chain gang, and they just couldn't find him. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
you're right,
remember
you're
that.
right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
So
You're right.
it's two separate people. They just never found this guy, but then they start. Is it Ving Rhames or and they're literally trying to find a ghost because that guy could have just been anywhere else. They just blame it on him. Don Cheadle wasn't having any of that shit.
Nope.
So
Nope.
yeah, but it's all yeah. How one little lie turns into. I mean, they in the movie they showed I think 7 or 8
You said
lynchings.
wasn't sad though. Nigga had to watch his mom get shot in front of his face, then drag her body in the house.
I mean, she didn't
Come
have to
on,
leave the
bro.
house, but she left the house. What was she doing? What was she
Protecting her
doing?
cubs.
Uh
Mama, get back in the house. Mama, get back in this house.
So, but I was reading up like yeah, I mean like, they showed like 7 or 8 lynchings, but there's reports that it was over 40, 50, sometimes even 100. Like it lasted days. Like I said, I've seen different kind of slave movies, but this, like you said, this isn't even a slave movie. This is 1920s, and this just openly happened everywhere. And it's just I think it was well made movie. There's some flaws to it because you can tell it was definitely a lower budget movie.
They don't give the blacks the budgets like they give the whites. You feel me? That was John Singleton. That was like early days.
Not yeah. Ryan Coogler was still 30 years away.
Oh yeah, he ain't meet Disney yet.
So, in honor of all the white guilt that I had to watch during that movie, I decided to make a top 5 white guilt movies of all time.
This nigga crazy.
Number 5, Django Unchained. And it's really only 2 scenes in there.
Nah, that's not top 5 white guilt movie.
Just top 5. Django because I had to watch a Mandingo fight right in front of Leo and a couple other white guys to the death. And then the number 1 scene is having to watch 3 dogs tear a guy apart to death. A lot of white guilt there. Number 4, I don't know if you've seen this one, Mississippi Burning.
Yep.
Ku Klux Klan. That's a great movie. That's one I unfortunately don't remember a lot of, but I remember being a great movie. Number 3, Amistad. Man, them throwing them over the ships, that's etched into my mind. Like they're all chained up and just right into the clear blue water. Like that's tough. Number 2, 12 Years a Slave. Great movie. Michael Fassbender playing a really brutal slave owner. Man, where he had the main actor hung up by a rope where he could just keep his feet, the top of his toes on the ground for him totally dying. Again, a scene that just etches into my mind. I'm like, and the worst part was he was a freeman. Like he was free, and they literally stole him down. And that, thank God for white savior Brad Pitt. Everyone forgets that Brad Pitt produced that movie, and he's like, I'm going to be the savior of this movie. I'm going to come down and get him.
You said Freeman like a racist, man. It's free man, bro. Come on, bro. Freeman.
That's not how they said it in the movies.
I don't care.
But number 1, I maybe I'm recency biased, but it is Rosewood because there's way too many scenes that really bothered me and really affected me, and it's just way too realistic. The burning of the bodies, the shooting. I mean, I've always just in general hangings bother me like visually. Not even just lynchings, but that takes it to another level. It's up against a tree. And it's just completely effed up. But hangings in general just bother me, the look of it. So when I got to watch that over and over again in this movie, it's just horrifying. So right now that takes the number one spot. I had two OLIs. I went backwards. I wanted to save these. I had Black Panther in there because of that one line by your dude Michael B. Jordan.
That's a hard line.
Bury me in the sea with my ancestors.
That
Talk about listen. Black Panther was an
new death was
experience,
better
man.
than bondage. That
Yeah.
new death was better than bondage, bro.
Black Panther was such a great experience. It felt like it brought together white and black people for a solid 2 weeks where we all went to the theater to see that shit. And I'm in a theater down in Tennessee with a lot of black people, but a lot of white people. It's just, oh man, this is an awesome movie. Very entertaining movie, other than the CGI at the end, but just a really good movie. And then he throws that line out towards the end, and I just sink into my chair. Well, not so much more fun anymore. My last OLI though was Bring It On.
This nigga.
I mean, they completely stole the black moves. All the white cheerleaders taking all the credit. It's just not right. It makes me feel guilty every time I watch it, every time I think about it. Gabrielle Union, she deserved what she got. They should have won first place.
Oh my god.